Hi everyone. So today's topic is price rules. So here we will discuss about what is the price rules and how we can actually implement it. I will show you the different scenario and how actually we can resolve or we can fulfill those scenarios here in the Salesforce CPQ with the help of price rules. So first of all, what is the price rules? When we are talking about the price rules, that is a configuration tool. Whether it is a product rule or the price rule, both are the configuration tool, correct? But the price rule automatically updates pricing related fields on a quote, quote line item or the related records, whatever conditions on that. And so basically what are you doing? You are just writing some pricing logic without writing code. So you are configuring it. That's the configuration. That's why it's a configuration tool, correct? So, what are the price rules? Kind of similar like a product rule. It is a price rule which actually consists the different components. First of all, you need to create the price rules. Then, under that, you have to provide the conditions. Means if this condition is true, then what will be the action? That action means that is the then part. Means what action you want to perform. So here, if we see that the price rule defines when it runs, means what is the evaluation event, then evaluation scope. Evaluation scope means that on calculate, before calculate, on initialization or after calculate. You can set that evaluation scope, and then what is the conditions to check if there is any filter criteria. Now, price condition. Price condition means that this is a logical if part where exactly you can give the conditions. If the conditions will be fulfilled, then only the below actions will be executed. Kind of if code type is equal to renewal, then apply 10% discount. If product family is equal to hardware, then set special price with something. If code total is greater than $10,000, you want to change quantity or something, you can want to apply the 10% discount. So basically it depends on if the condition is okay, then you can actually implement that action on that. So how exactly the price rule works? I have given some examples here. If core total is greater than 50,000, apply 5% additional discount. Correct? So price rule run on initialization means then when code line loads and then before calculate, on calculate and after calculate. These are the basically the scope of that evaluation when the price rule runs. And most pricing adjustments we do some on calculate when we click on the calculate button, when actually this performs, and it actually before calculate, on calculate and after calculate will be adjusted there. So now, because we have already worked on the price rules, now I will give you some scenarios and will give you with the solutions that how exactly we can perform it. So here, what is the scenario? The scenario is that AW Computing sells a netbook at $500. Correct? So what is the product? Product is a netbook. And but educational account should get it at $400. It means that whose account industry is related to the education, only those can get the $400. Now the thing is that if we know the company name, then it is okay. We can directly give that the contracted pricing. But now we are not giving it to the one or two companies. We are giving this discount or this value, price value, to the companies whose account industry is the educational account. So how will you do that? We will just create one this price rule. Price rule is very simple. We can give any name here. Then evaluation scope. We want to evaluate on a calculator. When we click on the calculate, and then I will just mark it active. So this is the price rule we have created. The second step is we need to create the conditions. Now on the requirement, we can see that there are the two conditions. The first condition is that the netbook, the first condition is the account industry should be the educational, and the second condition is the product code should be netbook. These two conditions true, then only we can set the amount. Correct? So this is the price condition one. Here you can say that on the object, the field industry is account industry and the equals value education. If on the code account industry equals value is equal to education, and what is the next condition? Next condition we have created The code line, the product code equals value netbook. And we have set on the product rule that if all conditions are met. If both these two conditions are met, then what is the action? We have set the list price to target object. What is the target object? Is a quote line, because we want to set the list price of the quote line. Then target field list price, and what value we need to set? The 400. Clear? So this is how we implement the price rules. This is the first scenario. Now everyone is clear. Let's move to the second scenario. What is the second scenario? AW Computing wants to offer new customer a one-time $25 discount on SD card. Correct? Means what we want to set? The action we want to reduce the $25 amount. That is the discount we want to give. That is the action on which we need to implement if the product code is SD card related and based on the opportunity type being set to new customer. It means that opportunity type, if the opportunity type is equal to new customer, then only we want to give. So how we can implement it? Let's do one by one. The price rule setup, create a new price rule where exactly we have the simple new customer price rule. Evaluation scope is a calculator, and when we want to calculate, on calculator. What will the price condition? Now the first price condition is that opportunity type 2 is equal to new customer. Now opportunity type, where it is, this basically type is on the opportunity. So how exactly we need to take the reference? So on the code, now I'm not taking the field because the field is directly not available on the code. So on way I'm just using this tested formula where actually I'm writing this SBQQ opportunity to underscore underscore r. This is a reference dot type. It means that I am fetching the type which is not available on the code directly, right? So if that type equals to value is equal to net customer. One more thing that in CPQ you don't have any option that on this on the price rules you don't have any option to check that whether this formula is correct or not. So what is the other way? Because you are implementing this on code, go to the code, go to the validation part and just try to check that formula there. If there is no error, you can just copy and paste the formula here. This is a way to check that if your formula is correct or not, if there is any error or not in this formula. Clear? So now we have already given the one condition that opportunity type set to new customer. We have already given the reference. This is a cross reference that is given the reference field, and then on that opportunity we are just fetching that this type, and that if that equals value is equal to new customer, then it means that it is okay. Now we can check the first condition is okay. What is the second condition? On the, that would be the only on the SD card. So what is the SD? Second condition is on the code line, field product code starts with value SD card. If the value starts with SD card on the product code, it means that value will be included. Clear? Now what action we want to implement? The action is to reduce the $25 discount. So we know that we can set the target list price, and now the formula original price minus 25. Now the question is that why we took this the original price here? Why don't we take the list price? Because if we take the list price, the recursion problem will occur. How? Look, what is the list price? Suppose the list price is 100, and when we click on this calculate button, it actually reduces the list price minus 25. List price minus 25, 100 minus 25. So the new list price value is 75. Suppose I am clicking on the calculate button again. Now this formula will run again the same action. What will be the list price? List price now is 75 minus 25. Now the new value is the 50. Every time I click on the calculate button, it will reduce the same values on the same. So the source and the target field doesn't look same. If these are same, that will give you that you fall you in that recursion problem. That's why I took it here on the original price, because the original price means the list price. I'm not doing changing any value. Now what is happening? List price is 100. Now original price is 100. Original price, that is coming from the price book. So 100 minus 25, 75. So list price has been changed to 75. Now again I click on the calculate button. Again original price is same, because I'm not doing any changes on the original price. 100 minus 25. Again on calculate, the list price, it will be always 75. That's why we don't take the source and the target same. Otherwise the recursion problem may occur. Okay, now use special price for price over. Till then now you need that. We have just update the list price. What if we need to change the special price? What is the special price? That is also available on the quote line. And you know that special price, how it comes, that if we will calculate the contracted price and the cost plus markup price, that calculation actually put the impact on the special price. So CPU calculates the net price using the multiple intermediate price. Original price means that the price book value. The list price means the POTs, the uh, this one, the other values, the list price or option price. So these kind of prices are coming calculating being here. Special price means the contracted price, cost plus price. That is actually the calculation come here. If there is no contracted price or the cost plus markup, then it will fetch the list price here. Then if we apply some additional discounts, then special price becomes a regular price. Sorry, if any we apply any discount schedule, volume based discount schedules, then it converts the regular price. And if we apply the additional discounts, then it becomes the customer price. If we apply any the partner discount, then it will become the partner price. And if we'll apply any the distributor discount, then it will becomes the net price. So this is a calculation. You should be aware that how actually it is being calculated. Now this is the same thing I have told you, that never goes with the avoid just recursive calculations. So if this is the same example I have given you, you can read that each time I will calculate, it will reduce its own price. If I will go the list price source and the target are also list price. So this is a why. So we need to change it on the special price sometimes. So why special price? Because it comes after list price and it is not prorated. Till special price, these prices are not prorated, because after that, on the regular price, customer price, partner price, and net price, these are the prorated prices, because the prorations calculations has been done on the fields. So that's why we need to do changes only on the list price and the special price. Don't go on try to change these price with the help of price rules, because it will update later on and your value price will not doing any impact on that. So for bundle adjustments update special price, not list price. If you want updating the bundles, then update special price. Correct? Now scenarios. I have given you one scenario here. AW Computing wants to give small business a 20% discount on all SSD drive. What is the action? I want to give the 20% discount. What are the condition? The condition is the company should be a small, the business should be a small. How can I check? I can check with the now check the number of employees, and the what is the other condition, that on only on SSD drive is the product code only related to the SSD. So how can I do to ensure the bundle pricing remains intact? Create a price rule that uses list price as the source and target special price. Okay, I can do this thing because this is discounted through bundle option pricing. Small prices, we already have the bundled option pricing. So we need to do changing, put the impact on the special price. So price rules, small business SSD price. This is the same I just created, the similar price rules. Then we have the price conditions. What is the price condition? The first is I need to check that whether it is a small business or the big business. So how can I check? On the code, I go with the tested formula where the account dot number of employees. I'm using the reference column. Account dot number of employees is less than value 50. So first condition is met, that if it is a small business or not. We have created the first condition. What is the second condition we need to create? Related to the SSD drive. Okay. This is the second condition we have created on the code line. product code starts with value SSD. Now, what I need to do? I need to implement the 20% discount. 20% discount on special price. Now, one more thing that sometimes user tries to change the special price, but it doesn't put any impact on that. The special price value will not change until you won't change the special price type and you change the value to custom. So I need to first change the special price type to custom, then only I can do the changes on the special price. Else it will not do any changes on it. So the first action is, because I need to change it on the special price, the first action is I need to convert the special price type on the quote line. I have changed the special price type is equal to custom. This is the first action. And on the second action, what I did, the second action I did, oh sorry, the second action, I will just create the 20% discount and do the changes here on the quote line. As PQQ special price, I just created the 20% discount, means the list price into 0.8. I am doing the special price changes on the special price and taking the formula list price ka 0.8% will be calculated. So 20% discount I have given. So clear? You need to think that you need to know that if I want to change the special price, first of all, I need to change the special price type is equal to custom. Then only you would be able to change it the special price. Else you won't be able to do it. Clear? Now, what are summary variables? Summary variables you have already done. So I will give you the just introduction that this is aggregate numeric data. So you are just putting some aggregation functions. We are selecting some aggregation function on some field, and that summary variables you can put it into either the product rules or price rules, right? So this is an example use case. AW Computing wants to discount laptop by $100, correct? If the customer has purchased 10 or more laptops previously. How can we know that the customer has already purchased these accounts or not? Because when I am saying that the laptops, these assets or not. So when I'm saying purchase these laptops, those laptops are basically the asset based, and these laptops quantity will be added into the asset of the account. If you will go to the account, open the in the related tabs, you can see that they will be in the asset or the subscription based product. There are the two kind of products you can see. On the asset, you can see that this laptop will be added. If the quote is approved and synced with the opportunity, that asset will be added into the as part of the category. So now I need to create a summary variable. I have given the name. Target object is the asset because now it is a part of the asset. What is the aggregation? I want to sum of all quantity. And what is the filter? The product code starts with laptop 1. So now you can see that in the org you would be able to find either the laptop 13 or laptop 15, correct? So it will just calculate if that is already the part of the asset, it will take the total sum. So I can know that the customer has already purchased how many laptops has been purchased. Clear? Now the second thing I have just created, now we know we have the summary variables which actually calculates those things. Now we can create the new price rule. Just I have created one price rule, and then now I need to check the conditions that summary variable name is greater than 10. So what I've done, I have selected the object summary variable. Now in the tested variable I have selected the summary variable name, and on the filter condition I have given the operator greater or equal value 10. What is the other price condition? Other price condition is I need to check because the price condition on the laptop only. So quote line product code starts with laptop 1. This is a condition we have implemented. And what was the action we want to perform? The action we want to perform is to want to give the $100 discount. So what we will do? The last step is to create the price action. So on the quote line, target field is I want to change the list price. So I will give the formula original price minus 100. So the list price is managed. Correct? What is the summary? We have created the summary variables. What is a composite summary variables? Composite summary variables means whenever I want to perform a final calculation on the summary variables, like suppose the value I received, and now I want to convert the units. So in the unit conversions, or I want to put some calculations on that, addition, divide, multiplications, or I want to club the two summary variables together, and then I want to get that value. So how can you do that? I can utilize this composite information. When you open the summary variables, there is a one more section, composite information. So composite information means operator means add, sum, this kind of multiply, divide, what actually you want to perform. Value element means that you are giving the value. It means I want to add 50, add 60, add 30. Variable element means you want to add one more variable and you want to put some calculation on that. You want to add the values of the another summary variable which will be here. So you are adding the two summary variables and then it will give you the final calculation. Like here, if you have summary variable calculates total asset quantity is 100 and you want to convert it composite operator, you will select divide, value we will set 2 and the answer will be the 50. Correct? So what are you actually performing? You are just doing some final calculations on that. This is basically the composite summary variables. Correct? And there is also the one more field, the constraint field, right, on the summary variables. What is that constraint field? Constraint field means that you are putting the final filter. If the one filter is not enough, you are putting the final filter. What is that filter? Some only laptops sold in the last year. You get that, but you want to perform, you want to find out the last year. So how you can do that? I will just create a field on the asset to identify which records to include and which records not to include. I can give some checkbox, true or false, that it is included, it is excluded, it is included, it is excluded. I will create the same API name field on the code. Now there is an asset and the code, so I will, the values should be the same. So I can populate both fields with the matching value. Either we can give the formula field or the automation or the manual. I can perform anything. Correct. This is up to us. That what based on the requirement. Means that now the what is there on included asset or the excluded assets, that value, checkbox value, the same value will be populated here on this the code. Now on the summary variable, I can use in the constraint field, I will give that API name which is on the code. This one I can give that. Now this is the additional layer of filtering. Value get true, it will include those codes, otherwise it will not include those fields. Where actually I will get the value true, it will actually include the values, those values, otherwise it will skip those values. So this is a way to give the final filter with the help of the constraint. Clear? Now what is the lookup queries? Like on the product rules you have already done with the lookup queries, the similar way you also the similar kind of issues here, and you can manage it with the lookup queries. And what was the issue? The proliferation. Proliferation means look, I am just giving, I in this example you can see that I have the one table where actually we have the industry, the product, SLA and price. If the industry is education, product is netbook, and SLA is bronze, the price should be here. If the industry is education, product is network, but the SLA is different, the price is there. So it means that how many product rule price rules I need to create? Do I need to create the 40, 50 price rules only to check the final price? Or if the more industry is added on the more product and more SLAs, then do I need to create how many rules I will create? So what is the resolution of this proliferation issue? The answer is that use the lookup queries. It means that you will put similar kind of data in one object and you will filter those records. The matching records will final get the price, will get the value. How will you do that? Look here. Instead of creating 16 rules, one lookup based price rule driven by a custom object. So I have put some all the data here in the industry price. So I have one object industry price now, which actually includes all the data along with the price. Now how can I manage? Create price rule. This is a price rule I have created. Now the one thing I have just extra step, the lookup object I have set the industry price. Industry price, this is the extra price which contains all the details, right? So I have selected that which this price rule will look into this industry price only. What is the lookup filters? Now I need to add the filters. Industry, the code's account industry is equal to IP industry. IP industry is the this field on this object, IP industry. So quote account industry is equal to this industry. Quote account product is equal to this product, and quote account SLA is equal to this SLA. Then on action I can get this IP price. So I'm doing the similar thing. I am fetching all these records. So combination must return only one row, otherwise it will give error if it gives more than one row. So what is the price action? Target object is equal to quote line, target field list price, and source lookup field. Source lookup field means which field it will fetch and where actually it will put the impact. So it will fetch the IP price, which is suppose this is a 430 value fetched IP price, and it will update the list price. So this is the way. Now CPQ pulls the exact price based on the industry, product, or SLA. So it is scalable, easier to maintain, and avoids multiple similar rules. Now the next is the sequence price rules for correct calculation. You know that some fields are there where actually if any changes on that field, CPQ actually re-evaluate the old pricing value. How you can check? Go to the code, you can check on the field set is available, the calculating fields, you can check that what fields are already available. Now suppose you have created one custom field and you want that anytime if there is any changes on that field, CPQ needs to reevaluate the pricing value. So it means that you need to add that per field, drag and drop it in this field set. So whenever any changes will happen on this field, CPQ will re-evaluate it. Otherwise, CPQ will skip this part. Like I have just added the expedite checkbox, expedited. So I need to add this field here. So every time if there is any changes, CPQ will re-evaluate. On the re-evaluation, CPQ will use this field also. Clear? Now, what is the sequence? So, to get to know about the sequence of this correct calculation, we need to know about the calculator evaluation event. So they are the basically the four price rules. On initialization means that whenever we are fetching data like a product option, cost, and so forth, what data actually we are fetching, we want to put the impact on load. It means that the evaluation event would be on initialization. And when we want to do some calculations before, like I'm just giving you the example, evaluate formula fields, which will put the impact on the code line quantities. So I want to evaluate formula fields, code lines, code on the code line group in that order. We will select before calculate, on calculate, and the after calculate. Means the different actions we can perform, which action, which rules will execute first, then on calculate, which rule will be calculated, and after calculate, which price rule will be impacted. So just basically the CPQ can run price rules up to 4 times depending on the rules evaluation event setting. This is a way where actually you can set it. Correct? So choosing the right evaluation, mostly scope we set it on calculate. Correct? Like I am, but like if I click on here, one sandwich is equal to this is a bundle quantity example. One sandwich includes the 2 cookies. Approximately the 5 sandwiches that will include the 10 cookies. What if a price rule changes it to 3 cookies per sandwich? It means that if set to on calculate, it is too late. Means that I need to click on the calculate button first, because that what will happen, that I need to do some changes on this calculation. So what I where I can set, I will use the even before calculation, because I want to do some pricing rules on the basis of these much of cookies. So I have done some changes before calculate, and then after that on calculate pricing rules will be implemented. Correct. So best practice, use only one event per rule for better performance. This is the best practice. Like in the triggers, you follow that, right? One trigger per object. So this have use one event per rule. And what is the correct sequence? Okay, one more thing. We have the concurrent conditions. Means test all rule conditions first, then execute applicable price actions. This is a concurrent conditions, right? And but what is the potential issue? Like rule 1 updates field day and rule 2 checks field day in its condition. So if both are running on the same time, so rule 2 may not run because conditions are checked before actions, correct? So rule 1, if delivery date is less than 2 weeks, check expedited. Rule 2 is saying if expedited is equal to true, then add $20 shipping. If both run in the same event, rule 2 won't apply surcharge because it will skip this one. So that's why it will be actually, we need to choose the different evaluation events, correct? So this evaluation event should be different. I have already given you the example why. And never rely on the click and calculate multiple times to get correct pricing. No. Okay. The next is the evaluation order. This is also important for you. You should be know that how exactly it is calculated. The first part is evaluation event. It will check that what is the evaluation event. It will order on that. We have the rule A, rule B, and rule C. Evaluation event is on calculate. Evaluation event is on calculate. Evaluation event is after calculate. It means that these two rules will run first. On calculate, on calculate. Now it will check that on these two rules, what is the evaluation order? Evaluation order is 3 and evaluation order is 2. It means that rule B will run first and then only rule 3 will first will come execute. What is the price action order? 30 and this is price action order 20. It means that this rule will run, correct? So you need to check the priority which needs to be run, and that's why one evaluation event on the one rule. This is actually it should be like this, right? Okay, that's all, guys. Thank you. Thanks.